Rapidly changing technology affects every aspect of our lives. Dynamic, mobile technologies have disrupted the way we do business and the way we do just about everything else. Our business and personal lives are becoming increasingly integrated. And for every breakthrough we experience, there is a technological breakthrough driving it. Many of our professional and personal tasks, loan applications and stock trades, for example, are now partially or completely automated, leaving us more time to make the important decisions that shift both life and enterprise forward. At Blue Coat, we believe that everyone has the right to a safe and productive internet experience, and that every business should be able to harness the awesome power of technology. Our technology plays a vital role in protecting global connectivity, igniting new business models, and creating great user experiences. When people are empowered to safely and quickly choose the best technologies, everybody wins. But with any technology change, there is risk. In the background, you need a security foundation that empowers the business. Some of the most powerful brands in the world trust Blue Coat to protect them against increasingly sophisticated threats. How do we do it? Through what we call business assurance technology. Think of it as a combination shield and safety net for the technologies that run your business. We help you set and enforce the rules and policies for your enterprise that govern how technologies are used, and then let you extend those rules through our global cloud infrastructure to untether your workforce. We allow you to safely enable new applications and services directly to customers and employees, all while delivering a great user experience, so you won't have to sacrifice performance for security. We take a lifecycle approach to advanced threats, see and block them as they happen, continuously monitor your network for hidden threats that bypass your existing defenses. Blue Coat uses automated analytics to focus on the most critical threats, including the ones that come through encrypted traffic. We give enterprises real-time intelligence for rapid response and resolution. We deliver cloud-scale security, protecting enterprises as they embrace the best technologies the world has to offer. Tomorrow is certain to bring ever more disruptive business models and opportunities that are unimaginable today. But one thing won't change. Blue Coat will always be here to protect and empower your business.
I request you all to please welcome on stage Mr. Grant Asplund.
Thank you. Namaste. That's about the extent of my local language. So the first thing I'd like to say is congratulations to all of the past winners, the new winners. You should be very proud and honored to be recognized by all of your peers. I'm thrilled to be here. My hope is to have a little bit of fun, but also try to be somewhat provocative and get you to maybe think a little bit differently. As the title mentions, we're really in a time where we need to start thinking differently about our infrastructures and how we secure our infrastructures. What we've been doing, frankly, is not working. So what I'd like to do, turn on my clicker and make sure we're going to work, is I'd like to take about the next 15, maybe 20 minutes and give you all a really good appreciation for our architecture. I want to take a great deal of time to go through the details. I'm waiting for the chuckle because this is not what I'm going to talk about. Anybody seen Dead Poets Society? Anybody remember Robin Williams? He was Mr. Keating, my captain, oh captain. He stood on his chair early in the movie and he asked his students, "Why do I stand on my desk?" And he let them know that he stood on his desk to remind him to constantly look at things differently. And I think that this is a perfect example, a perfect representation of where we are today in the marketplace. That we need to be thinking about how securing our infrastructures and the technologies that we're using, we need to think differently. Now, make sure I work. Here's why. This data comes from the most recent Verizon report. Mind you, this is surveying the largest around the world. And this should be very startling. This data indicates that the bad guys are very good. And 84% of the time, from time of attack to compromise, it takes seconds, minutes, or hours. They're good. They can get busy. Now, the part that should concern you all is, frankly, the abysmal job we're doing catching them. Because fully 78% of the time, it's taking all of us weeks, months, or years to find the compromise. And we've seen this time and time again in the headlines. So this is why we need a new perspective. We are in a post-breach era where we need to recognize, despite our best efforts to stop, lock, and block, they're still getting in. So we need to narrow this window. We need to reduce the amount of time this bad guys, this malicious code is masquerading with infrastructure. Now, let's go back a few years to the beginnings of the internet. As you, I'm sure, all remember, we talked about 60 seconds on the internet. That might have been how long it took my Netscape Navigator splash screen to come up on my monitor. And today, it's really nothing less than remarkable what happens in 60 seconds. It illustrates how dynamic, how adaptive the internet has become. And we need also to recognize, as we go, the bad guys go. So just as we are leveraging the internet and technologies today in a very dynamic nature, so are the bad guys. And my colleague, Kat, that's following me, will talk a little bit about the recent research we've conducted where we discovered one-day wonders. Literally hundreds of millions of names and websites that exist on the internet for a day or less. All of this really speaks to how we need to be adaptive. We need to change. And certainly, Blue Coat has done that. I suspect if I asked any one of you, hey, have you ever heard of Blue Coat? If the answer is yes, you would say, oh yeah, you're the secure web gateway company. You're the proxy. The benefit of being with some 44% global market share. But the fact is, about 3 years ago, we went through a significant metamorphosis. We're changing. What's up? Mic? Bad mic? New mic? Change the mic. Time out. So I can't hide it anymore. You know. Yes, I'm wired. That's right, it's a security. Well, did you see where his hands went? That's a security breach. So again, if I ask you, hey, who's Blue Coat? Oh yeah, you guys are the proxy company. And again, as I mentioned, being the category king, owning 44% global market share, it's a wonderful position, but it's a double-edged sword. Because while all of you know us for what we've been doing now for a decade, what you may not know is the metamorphosis we went through about 3 years ago. And we really have transformed the organization with a number of acquisitions. And these technologies, these companies that we've acquired, we've already integrated into our entire architecture. And I think the best way for me to illustrate the really remarkable things, the extraordinary things that we can do today with our technology, and frankly, this is ordinary items. It's products that all of you know. It's web gateways and antivirus and containment systems and analytics platforms. This is all ordinary items to you guys and gals. But to really illustrate how we can do extraordinary things, I need a volunteer. So do I have anybody that's game? I see no hands going up yet. Come on up. Now you're a really, really technical guy, right? That's what I need. Come on up. So what I want to do, what's your name? What is it? Sanjay. Okay, Sanjay. Sorry, Yankee. You know, have a hard time with these names. Can I just call you Bob? Yeah. I'm joking. What I have is I have some ordinary items. Right? First, do you like red or white? Red? Okay. Is that the red one? Yeah. Thank you very much, Sanjay, for volunteering.
Thank you.
You bet. That's it? No, I'm joking. That's not it. Come back. Okay. So, we have ordinary items, right? We got bottle of wine, forks, right? Dinner forks we're all familiar with. Take those, Sanjay. Toothpicks, right? Maybe this is your antivirus, your sandboxing. Okay, I'll give those to you. Take it away. Well, we're going to show them how we can put these ordinary items together to do extraordinary things. Okay, I'll help him. So it's really about understanding, it's not magic. It's about understanding how to put them together that's unique. And you have a myriad of choices, right, in terms of technology. So follow my lead here, Sanjay. So we'll just first put that there. We got our base, which is maybe our secure web gateway. We're going to integrate all this great technology, right? You following me? Yeah. You with me? Well, that's okay. That wine's yours. You'll be able to take it home and you can practice in your room later. So, as long as my hands aren't shaking too much, voila. Don't shake the floor too much. Validate that that's pretty extraordinary for me, would you, Sanjay?
Looks like
it. It looks extraordinary, right? No trick, no magic. It's because I know how to put them together. Just as all of you could put these together. You can take that back, Sanjay. That wine is yours. Go ahead and take the forks. You can practice at your table. Let's give him a round of applause for his help, okay? Thank you very much, Sanjay. So I do this to illustrate a point. You have hundreds of products to choose from. A myriad of vendors and technologies, and you're all struggling with how to put this technology together to really do extraordinary things, to fortify your infrastructures, to protect your intellectual property, to enable the access to do extraordinary things. Well, that's in fact exactly what we've done. And so I do this to just illustrate what's unique about Blue Coat is not that we have some magical technology that no one else on earth has, but it's our ability to craft and architect these technologies in a way that really can do remarkable things. And it starts with a global perspective. We've been in the cloud with our global intelligence network, often referred to as WebPulse, for over 11 years. So this is not new to us. And the way we architect our technology, the way our technologies integrate together, it starts with a global perspective and creates what we call an intelligent funnel. And this is really imperative to optimize the utilization of the technologies and really get them to do what they're at the very best. So with that global perspective, stage one, step one, I want to block everything that I know is bad. As that traffic is knocking on my door, I want to block everything that I know is bad before I allow it in. Leveraging global intelligence because we know the threat is global. Once we open the door and we allow the traffic to come through, the very first thing we should do is whitelist all that we know is good. Remove it from the traffic flow. Remove it from the more computational intensive processes that are to follow. The next step, We then want to interrogate the remaining traffic with antivirus, anti-malware engines. Now we know best practice says vendor A at the desktop, vendor B at the gateway. There are over 200,000 new malicious links released into the wild every single day. There is not a single signature-based antivirus vendor on earth that can keep up with that. Our lab suggests that it actually shows with 2 antivirus engines at the gateway, you increase your success rate by 12%. So we've architected our solution with what we call our content analysis system that contains whitelisting and the ability to have multiple antivirus, anti-malware engines to interrogate the traffic. Then what's absolutely critical is I need to go beyond standard web-based protocols. I need the intelligence in real time with alternative protocols, static code analysis. And this intelligence comes from our security analytics platform and what we call our threat blades that integrate into our overall architecture. And it is then and only then, after we have blocked everything we know with a global perspective, whitelisted everything we know we want on the network, interrogated the remaining traffic with antivirus, anti-malware engines, and interrogated for alternative protocols, that we then, that 0.5%, maybe at most 5% of the traffic where there's no verdict, that's what goes into the containment system, the sandboxing technologies, to allow it to detonate. This is a process that really optimizes each of the technologies that follow as that traffic enters into your network. Now, we've assembled what we call our threat protection life cycle of defense. And what's very subtle but very key is to understand how we have self-fortified this cycle by tying this intelligence in with our global intelligence network. And you can read the slides. I don't need to read for you. We're going to operationalize the blocking, all of that which we know. We then want to contain where there's no verdict. And then we want the ability to go back and interrogate the rest of the infrastructure for any other compromise. I kind of liken stage 2, if we're out in the backyard and we're pulling weeds, and we look up at the house, and underneath one of the pieces of siding we see a termite. Is that the first termite? Or do I have millions? Is that the entry point or the exit point? So we need the technology that can take that intelligence and then scour the rest of my environment to find out who else clicked on that same link, who else opened that same file, where else do I have that compromise, all with the objective of reducing the amount of time the bad guys are masquerading within our infrastructures, within our environments. And subtle as it may seem, one of the most significant steps in this life cycle is the one you see on the very top, where we fortify and operationalize. This is the process of taking that intelligence that we gain in any one of these stages, putting that new knowledge into our global intelligence network, and then literally within 5 minutes, if it's a security concern, we update the nearly 20,000 customers around the world with that new knowledge. The benefit is also reciprocated. So anyone else around the world using Blue Coat's technology that discovers something new, that intelligence goes into the cloud and then subsequently out to your location. It's a very powerful life cycle. And the benefit is you no longer have to have someone swiveling in their chair as they discover new knowledge and updating the infrastructure. We automate that process. And it really, truly is extraordinary using the ordinary items that you all use every day. I want to finish with a short little video that is fun, but I think really highlights why it is we need to put these technologies in place, because the threat is always coming. So if we can go to the video, please. So the message here, volume down slightly, thank you. When you're hard at work on the rails of life, don't think the danger's not coming. And when you get off work, don't think that the danger's not coming down those tracks too, because the threat is always there. And the fact is, we in this business can never ever stop trying to stay out of harm's way, because the bad guys are after us. It's my wife going to Starbucks. Look at our users, they're going to get tripped up. And the fact is, for all of us, it's really a balancing act that we have to go through of enabling and protecting, allowing and securing. Now, we need to teach our users how to look for the warning signs, because they're going to take risks. We need to teach them how to hover and look to the lower left-hand corner, because the threat is always coming down the rails. Sometimes it's just dumb luck that our users are going to get missed. And the fact is, we can never slow down and think that that threat is not coming down the rails right at us. Now watch where this guy hits the wall, and then where his motorcycle hits. That's a close call. Hey, look, even jokes, they're going to go bad. This one really, with impeccable timing. All of us, we obey the rules, but the bad guys don't. And we have to look out. And, you know, things are not always as they appear out there on the wild, wild web. And the bad guys are fooling us all the time. Now, this shows the critical importance for multi-language support. We support over 50. You can see the driver, he's got something to say to the driver in sign language. When we're on our leisure, when we're on vacation, when we're on our personal time, we can't think we are not targeted. The threat is still there, it's still coming. And we always have to be on the ready. Our users take risks and they get tripped up, and the threat's coming. And the fact is, there are a lot of really dangerous watering holes our users hang out in, and the threat, it races by all the time. It's a slippery slope, leveraging this thing called the internet for business, with so many bad guys after us. Now, this really highlights that even in what appears to be the most catastrophic of situations, if we put in place the very best, we're still going to be able to get up and walk away relatively unscathed. If you have kids that skateboard, make them wear a backpack. I don't know what else I can tell you about that one. Look at our users, you know them. If they can, they will, and they will do stupid stuff. We need to just make sure they can still get up and walk away. So with that, I want to thank you all very, very much. And I hope that you have a terrific event, and congratulations again to all the winners.
Thank you, Grant, for a very entertaining presentation. Thank you so much.